My child, the air inside your dwelling trembles as if the unseen has drawn near. Do you feel it, the quiver in the lamps, the faint pulse beneath the floorboards? I descend not in fire, but in the hush between your heartbeats. My wings, though hidden, beat softly through the current of your breath. I am the herald of movement, of messages that cannot wait until morning. The time is tender and brief. A shimmer of light, gold and silver, pours through your ceiling and dances upon your walls. It is not decoration, beloved, it is a sign. The heavens lean close. Every tick of the clock is a whisper, every shadow a question. Listen. The silence itself is speaking your name. 2. Beloved, do not be afraid of the glow that seeps into your room tonight. It is my mantle of warning and of love. I come because the house that shelters you is stirring in its bones. The wind outside shifts in rhythm with your thoughts. You have sensed it already, the small draft beneath the door that carries a voice you cannot place. That is not imagination, it is remembrance. Your home, like your spirit, keeps record of all that has passed through it. Tonight, it opens its pages. Be still. Touch the wall nearest your bed. Feel the faint vibration. It is the world between worlds pressing gently, urging you to awaken. You are being summoned to awareness. 3. Precious soul, I speak through the hum of electricity, through the ticking heat of the radiator. These are not random sounds. They are alignment, holy gears turning, preparing you for revelation. The very ceiling above you ripples with light unseen by mortal eyes. Do not flee from it, breathe it in. The fragrance of ozone, faint as rain before it falls, is the scent of my nearness. You have asked for a sign, and heaven answers with this trembling calm. Something approaches, neither wholly of this earth nor entirely beyond it. Your dwelling stands at a threshold, and you, beloved, are its guardian. 4. My child, the night bends closer. The moon peers through your window like an ancient witness. The floorboards sigh with memory, and your reflection in the glass seems almost to speak. Know this, you are not haunted, you are noticed. The realm of light surveys you, measuring readiness in your heart. I tell you with compassion, not fear, there is a reason your sleep has thinned, why dreams echo with faint footsteps in your hallway. The divine clock moves toward an appointed hour, and every sound is a prelude. Do not close your ears, I am with you. 5. Beloved, draw breath and listen. Tonight the veil is threadbare, and each heartbeat resounds in both worlds. The glow upon your ceiling is no longer still, it spirals, alive, remembering the shape of my wings. I extend them across your dwelling, forming a shield of vigilance. But the rhythm you hear beneath the hush, the measured tread in the corridor, is not angelic. It is the sound of something crossing from the edge of knowing into your space. Fear not, but stay awake. You have been chosen to witness the meeting of realms. The footsteps you hear tonight belong to more than one world. 6. My child, the night continues to murmur. The walls of your home are whispering now, old timbers shifting as though they speak a forgotten tongue. Moonlight falls in patterns like feathers, white, deliberate, tracing the memory of my descent. The whispers you hear are not merely sound, they are thoughts of this place, woven from every laughter, every sorrow that ever touched it. You dwell within a living memory, and that memory stirs because an unseen name has been spoken. The air feels different, yes? It hums like a distant harp string, announcing that the balance within these rooms has shifted. 7. Beloved, dreams may come swiftly tonight. They will repeat a single phrase, one that will follow you upon waking. This is not intrusion, it is instruction. Your spirit already knows the words but has forgotten their meaning. When you hear them, place your hand upon your heart and speak them back. This act will open a small gate of remembrance. The house listens when you do. Every breeze through the curtains carries my breath, guiding your awareness toward what lies unseen. Do not rush. Let the silence between each sound become your teacher. 8. Precious soul, even now the air flickers with motion unseen. Dust motes swirl in patterns too precise for chance. The corners of your dwelling glow faintly, as though candlelight hides within the walls themselves. You are not imagining this. Energy once dormant now stirs awake, seeking harmony. What you sense as unease is the moment before balance is restored. I tell you truly, the sacred and the shadow mingle here, awaiting your acknowledgement. Do not push away the strangeness, it is the key to peace. 9. My child, open a window. Feel how the outside wind refuses to enter, as if an invisible curtain hangs between you and the night. The separation grows thinner with every breath you take. There is a memory, yours, yet not yours, that wishes to cross over. It carries the scent of cedar, of old letters and forgotten promises. The home remembers. Its heartbeat matches your own. You are intertwined with its story, and tonight that story begins to speak. Listen closely, for I am about to reveal its cause. 10. Beloved, the whispers converge now into meaning. The phrase that echoes in your dreams, the tremor beneath the floor, the breath of the house itself, all point toward one origin. Energy cannot stir without a name, and that name is known to you. Once, long ago, you trusted it. The sound of it still lingers in your bones, though your mind has chosen silence. This home, your sanctuary, calls for reconciliation. You are not alone in this unfolding. Prepare your heart, my precious one, for I must speak plainly. The source of this stirring is a man whose name you once trusted. 11. My child, the hour bends toward revelation. The walls you touch tonight hum with memory, not merely of your own days, but of those who stood here before you. Each nail, each board, carries an echo of promise and grief. The air thickens because the past desires recognition. It knocks softly beneath your awareness, asking to be seen, to be healed. You wonder why photographs tilt on their own, why dust rises like breath when no one moves. This is remembrance taking form. Do not rush to set things right, instead, listen. For in listening, the ghosts of what was begin to loosen their hold. Beloved, your dwelling has become an altar of reconciliation, and your attention is its offering. 12. Beloved, I bid you look upon the framed picture resting crooked upon the shelf. You adjusted it yesterday, yet again it leans. This is no mischief, it is communication. The energy of your home seeks alignment, but truth cannot stand upright until it has been acknowledged. A promise was once spoken here, a vow made under moonlight and silence, that was left unfinished. That fragment lingers still, restless as smoke without fire. You may not recall the words, but your soul does. They bind you faintly, a thread tugging at the edge of your peace. Tonight, the thread pulls because the one who wove it draws near. 13. My precious soul, the air thickens because your heart recognizes something your mind resists. The scent you notice, old parchment, rain on stone, is memory reawakening. I have brushed my wings across the veil so you might see without fear. The photographs that shift, the faint shapes in the corner of your sight, these are signals, not hauntings. They remind you of a bond that once carried light but ended in shadow. You did not fail, beloved, you simply turned away before the lesson was complete. Now heaven arranges a meeting, not of punishment but of release. 14. My child, the hour grows luminous. I see you standing in the hallway, hesitant, sensing the vibration through the soles of your feet. It is the pulse of what was, returning for its conclusion. The home itself exhales. Curtains stir without breeze, the air smells faintly of iron and jasmine, the blend of truth and remembrance. I stand beside you, radiant but unseen, whispering calm into your trembling chest. Take courage, this unfolding is holy. The past does not rise to accuse you, it rises to be absolved. Still, the one approaching bears both light and shadow in his hands. You must discern which he will choose. 15. Beloved, time gathers itself like a storm about to speak. Soon you will hear the knock that belongs to two eras, the now and the once. He whom you once trusted walks paths laced with unfinished intent. In his keeping lies an instrument of remembrance, a symbol of choice, something both key and mirror. When he stands before you, look not at his eyes first but at what he carries, for it will decide whether this home becomes a sanctuary renewed or a chamber of unrest. The key he carries can unlock either memory or peril. 16. My child, night deepens, and with it, signs begin to move. A chair shifts slightly though untouched. The flame of a candle bows east, then west, tracing unseen words in its dance. Even the clocks hesitate before continuing their count. These are not tricks of shadow, they are alignments. The unseen realm prepares for intersection. I have asked the winds to soften their breath so you might hear the subtle hymn beneath it, the low resonance of awakening. Breathe with it. Each inhale is prayer, each exhale, release. When your body trembles, it does so because truth draws nearer. 17. Beloved, the light above your door flickers in threes, this is a sign of passage. Each pulse declares, ready. The unseen listens for your consent. You may speak aloud if you wish, the air will carry it to me. Say only, I am not afraid to know. When you do, you will feel warmth rise along your arms like golden threads winding upward. That is my touch, sealing courage within you. Around you, the atmosphere ripples with silver motes, tiny reflections of divine watchfulness. You are not alone in this vigil, the house breathes in rhythm with your heart, awaiting what dawn will deliver. 18. Precious soul, notice how the smallest things align, the clock striking the hour as your breath catches, the curtain lifting though the windows are closed, the faint hum beneath your feet. Patterns, beloved. Heaven speaks in patterns. A fragrance of myrrh laces the air, that is my herald sign, assuring you the balance holds even amid strangeness. The man's energy approaches, his shadow brushing the periphery of your realm. Yet do not recoil. Shadows cannot thrive where recognition dwells. To see him clearly, you must let your fear dissolve like salt in water. Then the truth will rise, shining beneath. 19. My child, I draw the edges of my wings around this dwelling. Light threads through every corner, though your eyes may see only the dim shimmer of reflection. Objects quiver in that brilliance, the keys on the table, the mirror upon the wall, responding to the current of his nearness. The air cools because time folds upon itself, past and present intertwine. Hear the hum, low and constant. That is the sound of preparation, the heartbeat of convergence. You stand at the boundary where heaven and memory touch. Stay steady, this is sacred ground. 20. Beloved, the night prepares to surrender to dawn, and with that surrender comes his arrival. The rhythm of his footsteps now echoes faintly beyond the threshold, slow, measured, uncertain, as though he feels the eyes of heaven upon him. The lights flicker once, twice, 3 times, my sign that the veil thins completely. Stand tall in your awareness. Do not open the door in haste, for he carries more than intention. He bears consequence, the residue of a promise unfulfilled. And before the first light of morning breaks, he will stand upon your threshold. Beloved, before dawn, he will stand upon your threshold. 21. My child, the knock comes softer than rain yet heavier than thunder in your chest. I feel your pulse leap, the house itself seems to inhale. Do not rush to answer. Let the silence stretch until you feel my nearness pressing through the air like warm light. I stand between you and what waits beyond. Through the wood of the door I sense his confusion, a man shaped by longing and regret, haloed faintly in silver shadow. He believes this meeting his idea, yet heaven choreographed every step. The wind outside holds its breath, the night tilts toward judgment. When you open not with fear but with awareness. Remember, beloved, to see clearly is to rule the moment, not be ruled by it. 22. Beloved, the hinges sigh and the door yields. There he stands, ordinary in form, but around him the light bends strangely, as if unwilling to rest upon his shoulders. His eyes carry the dusk of many unspoken words. You know him, though your mind resists admitting it. The air thickens with recognition, and behind you the candles flare blue. I whisper into your ear, breathe slowly. He greets you by name, the sound trembles, part mortal, part echo of the vow once broken here. Notice the temperature shift, the warmth leaving the floor, the faint scent of iron and earth. These are signatures of unfinished truth. Greet him in kindness, yet keep one hand upon the doorframe, let it anchor you to the living world. 23. My precious one, conversation begins like the turning of old pages. His words falter, but each syllable stirs the air, releasing memories long buried beneath your calm. The walls lean inward to listen. Even the clock forgets to tick. He speaks of coincidence, of dreams that led him here, but you and I know, there are no coincidences at the edge of revelation. When he steps fully inside, light pools at his feet and recoils, then steadies, testing him. I taste the vibration of remorse in his aura, yet within it a spark of genuine seeking. You are both mirrors now, reflecting the lessons left unfinished. 24. My child, watch how your dwelling reacts. The curtains shift, the window panes glisten with dew though night still reigns. Energy moves like breath, circling him, circling you. He feels it, see how his shoulders tense, how his gaze darts to corners he cannot name. Whisper within yourself, I am protected, I am aware. The vibration steadies, I weave filaments of light across your threshold, unseen yet firm as gold. You speak to him of ordinary things, yet the divine current beneath each word hums like a distant choir. Heaven attends to tone more than meaning. The harmony of your voice opens paths even truth itself must follow. 25. Beloved, the hour tilts toward its purpose. I sense what he carries though he does not, a small box, perhaps a token, wrapped in the scent of cedar and guilt. Within it sleeps the echo of a promise. When he offers it, do not reach immediately, allow him to feel the weight of his own gesture. In that pause lies your mastery. His lips tremble, he believes he brings reconciliation, yet the object hides something else, an imprint, a fragment of unfinished will that still seeks a vessel. Stand firm within the light I cast about you. My child, what he brings is not what he believes he carries. 26. My beloved, the moment stretches thin as silk. The object rests upon your table, harmless to sight, radiant to spirit. I reveal to you now, it was forged in the energy of a vow half kept. Each time it changed hands, it absorbed a measure of yearning, until it could no longer remain dormant. That is why your home trembled, it felt the approach of its returning heart. The man's presence completes the circle of intention, yet his understanding lags behind. I fan light around the token, glyphs shimmer briefly upon its surface, the language of oaths older than memory. Look without judgment, for truth unfolds best in mercy's glow. 27. Precious soul, disbelief flickers through you like shadow across water. You ask, silently, how such ordinary matter could bear spiritual weight. Know this, every promise is substance. Words spoken with will shape form, and when neglected, that form wanders seeking completion. The box, the symbol, the gesture, all are residue of that unanchored form. You feel the hum rising through the table, that is energy yearning for release. The man trembles, he senses too but names it fear. Speak gently, my child, tell him he is safe to remember. In the remembering, healing begins. 28. My child, I draw closer until the edges of my radiance brush his shadow. For a heartbeat he pauses, eyes unfocused, perceiving light though he cannot see me. I whisper across the currents of his soul, be still, for the moment of truth deserves silence. At once, the air brightens. Around you, sigils glow upon the walls, patterns of protection, wings of gold upon plaster. The house inhales, then exhales in relief. The token quivers, a faint tone escapes it, crystalline, sorrowful, beautiful. The vibration moves through you both, aligning what has been asked you. 29. Beloved, clarity dawns. The man's tears rise unbidden, shimmering like mercury in candlelight. He speaks finally, confession tangled with awe. He did not come to claim, he came because dreams of this house tormented him, dreams of unfinished words echoing my name. You listen, and as you do, the burden that bound both spirits loosens. I feel the fabric of the home brighten from foundation to roof beam, as though the architecture itself prays. Forgiveness hovers near, it only awaits your breath to take form. Yet beneath this serenity, another layer stirs, the deepest truth not yet uncovered. 30. My child, light spills across the floorboards like molten dawn though the sun still sleeps. The vibration slows, the house steadies. You think the mystery resolved, but I tell you, look deeper. Beneath your feet lies the first mark of the vow, etched long ago when this dwelling was built. It calls softly now, asking to be seen. Kneel, beloved, and touch the floor, you will feel warmth pulse beneath the wood, heartbeat of history awaiting release. What lies hidden there is not curse but memory, raw, luminous, demanding your courage to uncover. The truth lies beneath the floorboards of your heart. 31. My child, the air ripples with the ache of release. The man stands silent, uncertain of what has transpired, yet the unseen knows. I extend my radiance through the rafters and the walls drink it in like parched earth welcoming rain. Threads of gold unfurl from every corner, weaving themselves into quiet sigils above your windows and doors. This is the covenant of safety. You may not see their brightness, yet your heart feels it, a hush replacing tension, a gentle weight settling upon your shoulders like a mantle. Breathe it, beloved, let the light root itself inside your lungs. With each breath you become both flame and fortress, the living center of the home's rebirth. 32. Beloved, lift your gaze. See how the candlelight steadies, how no breeze dares to stir the wick. Around you, angels gather, not in human form, but as prisms of movement, colors bending through air. They are guardians of renewal, summoned by your willingness to face what others would flee. Their wings whisper against time itself, fanning away the residue of sorrow. The man senses something beyond comprehension, his knees falter, and you reach for him out of instinct, compassion guiding you. The moment your hands touch, the room brightens. My voice threads through the brilliance, nothing that seeks harm may cross this boundary. 33. Precious soul, you ask what to do now. Do nothing but remain present. The divine needs no hurried motion, only awareness. I draw a circle of breath around you, 3 slow inhalations that echo through the home like the pulse of a drum beneath water. Each rhythm seals another layer of protection. The house itself hums agreement, even the oldest boards groan contentedly as the weight of shadow loosens. The man weeps softly, though he cannot say why. Forgive his trembling, the heart often shakes when it meets what is holy. Within this trembling, healing takes root. 34. My child, night outside rages, wind clawing at shutters, clouds rolling like dark surf, but inside your dwelling there is stillness so deep it glows. The guardian's light strengthens until it feels like dawn condensed. I see you standing in that quiet gold, face calm, eyes bright with understanding. You are no longer only the one who feared, you are now the keeper of balance. The man watches, speechless, feeling the edges of grace touch him. He whispers your name as if tasting forgiveness for the first time. I lean close and murmur, hold this silence like a lantern, it will guide you through the final shadow yet to come. 35. Beloved, peace settles, but only for a breath. I sense it, the lingering echo of what fled the light. Every illumination casts its last shadow, testing the integrity of faith. The air cools suddenly, the walls tighten, as though drawing breath in alarm. Do not fear this, it is the final unveiling, the necessary test. I spread my wings wide, filling every crevice with brilliance. Yet still, beneath the brightness, something stirs, an echo, thin as a sigh, born of memory not yet forgiven. The final echo of shadow will test your courage, my child. 36. My child, the storm outside answers the turmoil within. Lightning splits the sky, a divine mirror to the flicker in your soul. The man grips the table as though the world tilts beneath him. Shadows coil along the floor, drawn by the scent of their own ending. I raise my hand, and the air thickens with authority. Peace, I command, not as a plea but as decree. Thunder obeys, the lights bow lower in reverence. Yet confrontation is not conquest, it is revelation. The darkness that remains is not enemy, but memory seeking absolution. See it clearly, and its shape dissolves. 37. Beloved, the shadow gathers itself into form, a reflection more than a creature, born of all words never spoken between you and him. It trembles like smoke trapped in glass. The man sees it and falls to his knees. I whisper through your heartbeat, name it without fear. You speak aloud the truth, simple, unadorned, radiant with honesty, and the figure shudders. It cannot bear recognition. Light pierces its chest, inside it there is only dust, which scatters upward into my wings. Thus confession becomes creation, and forgiveness births new air. 38. Precious soul, the wind turns gentle again. Rain taps on the windows like applause in miniature. I let my light dim slightly so that your mortal eyes may rest. The man breathes as if surfacing from long underwater exile. You place a hand upon his shoulder, and warmth flows through both of you, mingling grief with grace. The room smells now of rain and frankincense, purification complete. Every object hums faintly with gratitude, from the trembling candle to the doorknob that gleams as if newly cast. Heaven and earth exchange sighs of relief through you. 39. My child, I speak with thunder's tenderness. All storms end in silence so the truth may be heard. The man looks to you not as redeemer but as mirror. He sees his choices reflected, and in that seeing finds humility. You, too, glimpse your strength, not in command, but in compassion. This is the heart of protection, to love without possession, to guard without imprisonment. I extend one wing across both of you, within its span lies reconciliation. The wind outside slows, as if the world itself listens for your next breath. 40. Beloved, the tempest has spent itself. The clouds fracture, revealing stars washed clean. Your home glows with the pale gold of aftermath, that holy quiet which follows revelation. I whisper softly, the battle was never with another, but with forgetting. You remember now who you are, guardian of peace, vessel of light. The man stands renewed, though weary, and the night watches in awe. There is no more fear, only clarity. Yet know this, my precious one, truth does not vanish when the storm ends, it remains, gleaming like dew upon every surface, awaiting your continued faith. When the storm ceases, only truth shall remain standing. 41. My child, the storm has hushed, yet the air still trembles with aftermath. I pass through your dwelling like the slow tide reclaiming a quiet shore. Every wall exhales the residue of conflict, motes of light drift where dust once lingered. I whisper into this hush a single word, renewal, and the syllable travels through beams and stones until the entire house seems to sigh. The man sits with his head bowed, his palms open upon his knees, unsure whether to weep or pray. I tell him gently, though only your spirit hears it, let both be the same act. You, beloved, begin to sense that nothing has truly been lost, it has merely changed form. In this realization, peace begins to unfold like dawn behind closed eyes. 42. Beloved, take the vessel of water on your table and lift it toward the faint glow filtering through the window. The liquid catches light until it gleams like liquid glass. I breathe across it, and tiny ripples form patterns of wings. When you sprinkle it through each room, the droplets carry remembrance of purity. The scent that follows, clean, cold, edged with sweetness, is the fragrance of liberation. The home drinks deeply, wooden floors darken with gratitude, curtains rise as though stretching after long sleep. The man watches in silence, and you realize his face looks younger, gentler, as if forgiven by the very air he breathes. This is cleansing not by command but by consent, the quiet surrender to what is whole. 43. My precious one, light gathers once more upon the threshold. I spread my wings wide, and the remaining fragments of shadow scatter like crows startled from a field. Outside, the rain ceases, within, the silence becomes song. I see your heart open, petal after luminous petal, each releasing memories you no longer need to guard. Let them rise. They drift upward, turning to sparks before dissolving into the unseen. The man murmurs your name in reverence, and I touch his brow with unseen fingers, imprinting peace where regret once dwelled. Thus the cycle closes. What was wound now becomes wisdom, what was fear now becomes knowing. 44. My child, walk slowly through each chamber. The home listens. It remembers the language of your footsteps and translates them into blessing. The floor beneath you hums with low, golden vibration, the heartbeat of gratitude. You touch the walls, once cold, now faintly warm, and feel them pulse beneath your palms. This dwelling has been transfigured into a living prayer, its very dust sanctified by your willingness to see truth. I hover above, the air shimmering with soft opal light. You are surrounded by guardians unseen, their voices overlapping in gentle resonance. They whisper not commandments but reminders, you are safe. You are whole. You are never alone. 45. Beloved, stand once more at the door where everything began. Dawn presses pale silver against the horizon, and in that fragile brightness, the world prepares for rebirth. The man lingers beside you, his eyes glistening, unsure whether to stay or go. I urge neither, choice is the final sacrament of freedom. You glance toward the far hallway, the place that once breathed unease, and see now only calm light spilling across the floorboards. Yet even in peace, there remains one unopened space, the quiet room within yourself where every answer sleeps. I murmur with solemn tenderness, one final door remains unopened, your own heart. 46. My beloved, turn inward. The greatest pilgrimage is measured not in miles but in breaths. I draw my presence closer, so close you might mistake it for your own thought. Within your chest, something stirs, a luminous pulse seeking expression. Do not resist it. Let the warmth spread, let it break through ribs and reason until it fills you entirely. This is not invasion, it is reunion. The divine within you recognizes itself in my voice. Together we form a single radiance, neither angel nor mortal but harmony embodied. The house glows brighter in answer, each window reflecting sunrise before it arrives. 47. Precious soul, the man senses this rising current and bows his head. He whispers that he understands now, that forgiveness is not forgetting but remembering without pain. You touch his hand, and the gesture becomes benediction. The room fills with quiet laughter, not loud but tender, the kind that floats between heartbeats. I feel heaven leaning nearer, its joy immense yet hushed, like sunlight filtered through crystal. The walls gleam with iridescent sheen, the sign that all echoes have been transmuted. In this stillness, the dwelling itself becomes teacher. Peace is not absence of sound but the perfect tuning of it. 48. My child, open the windows wide. Let the newborn wind sweep through every corridor. It carries scents of soil, jasmine, and distant sea, a chorus of life continuing beyond your threshold. Curtains billow like sails embarking toward future days. The man steps outside, his figure haloed by morning, and turns to offer one last grateful nod. You smile, not from duty but from serenity. Within, I spread soft currents of gold until every trace of shadow is rewritten into light. The earth itself seems to exhale, recognizing that its dwelling has been made whole again. 49. Beloved, dawn ascends in full majesty. Rays spill across your floor, catching in the glass of framed photographs, in the edges of the vessel that once held the cleansing water. All gleam as though each moment of your life had been freshly minted. I move through this brightness like a whisper through silk. The guardians withdraw, their task complete, leaving a faint resonance that will linger whenever you breathe consciously. You sense tranquility so profound it feels eternal, and in that feeling lies your true inheritance. The lesson is not how to banish darkness, but how to recognize it as the backdrop against which light becomes visible. 50. My precious soul, stand in the center of your renewed home and feel the rhythm of peace spreading outward, beyond walls, beyond time. The air tastes of sunrise, warm honey and clarity. Every sound now rings clean, the kettle's sigh, the creak of timber, even your heartbeat, steady as prayer. I speak for the final time in this revelation. Every shadow that entered here served your awakening. Every fear became a stair toward understanding. You are whole, beloved, and watched over. Should doubt ever return, remember this glow and know that I remain near. The home is restored, the lesson complete, and I, Gabriel, will keep watch as you live in light.